Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We're on episode 10, coming Sunday morning, straight after a big weekend of footy at the Furnace yesterday.
And how good is it to have footy back?
How good? How good is it? Well, footy started last week, but we couldn't go. So for us, how good is it?
This is the first week back at the Furnace as well.
Oh, at the Furnace. The Furnace was hot.
I couldn't see an inch of green when I was on the field looking over at the bar.
It was good. The Furnace was hot.
And I don't know how that grass survived. Let's just say that. I don't know how that fucking grass is still there.
Now, speaking of the Furnace, speaking of how hot it was, we have a footy show first. We've got a special guest this week.
Yes, we've got a special guest arrival this week.
We've got a special guest arrival, right? And now, this man, he's an ex-player. He's an ex-Devil. He is an ex-coach and manager of the mighty Isis Devils. He is a life member of the club. He is an ex-committee member of the club. And he has been announcing football at the Furnace since before the dawn of time. He is also a current councillor for the area. It's none other than the man, Billy Trevor.
Come on in, Billy.
Let's give it up for Billy. Come on in, Billy.
Hey!
All right, we've got Billy secured. He's front and centre for the potty. Not podcast. We're not podcast, we're a footy show.
He's here
we are a footy show. All right, so he's on the panel. He hates podcasts, Billy. Hates podcasts. Righto, so we're going to rip straight into the NDRL wrap-up. So, first of all, we have the NDRL women. First game for the women's was Agnes versus Callan.
Was that only 8-0?
Because it got called up at half-time.
So
it wasn't the first game of the day. There was a men's game, but we're just going as our draw reads.
Yes.
So the first league tag game was Agnes South Callan. It was 8-0 at half-time. There was an unfortunate injury medical episode that happened right on the stroke of half-time, but prior to that, there was nothing in it. That South Callan team looks bloody good.
They've really improved from last week, I think. They're really getting their tips together, running in twos. And I don't know who that number 4 was.
Oh,
she's got to get off the wing because every time she ran, she's just too quick to grab a tag.
Yeah.
And she's got that little hip twist at the line.
Yeah.
She's got to get in locked.
Which is a lot of these players, when they come from like rugby league to league tag, they're sort of a bit standoffish, like, well, can I really aggressively run through the line? And yes, you can. They're sort of a bit thinking, anticipating the tag a bit and doubt themselves. But South Callan have a lot of strike. They looked bloody good yesterday.
I think they're just going to improve throughout the year. And I reckon they're a smoky to win a couple games that no one thinks they're going to. So I'm going to keep them on the radar for tips further in the year to see who they're playing, see who else is winning.
So they were unfortunate to not get any points. Very close a few times.
I reckon they would have scored if there was a second half.
Oh, yeah. 100%. That leads to the team who did win, which was Agnes Water Pink.
Yes.
And we did confirm with a few ladies in the crowd from Agnes Water White yesterday that, yes, the teams are 17 plus and then under 17 under, yeah.
So essentially, Agnes under 17's team is the Agnes Pink team?
Yes, correct.
Except we have Kim McIntosh coaching and
occasionally playing. Yes, and occasionally playing. So, excellent. I don't know if she's actually going to play or if she's just coaching, but she's there because
Shani.
Yes, because Shani's there, her daughter. Yeah, so they striking hot. That little half, I can't remember if she was 6 or 7. Oh my god, she's playing well above her age
for having hands that small. She's
only tiny.
The ball did not touch her chest once.
No,
every catch was out here,
out the front,
dummy, kick, dummy, and a good kicking game. Too.
She is. She's one to watch. She'll be.
She forced. I couldn't believe she forced a dropout. Went to the line. Put it on the toe. Dropout. I was like, that's.
Yeah, that score should have been more because there was one that she did a bit of a grubber kick and then just fumbled it and then regathered it and scored. So if she had just got that clean, she would have scored again. Next women's game was Isis versus Gin, and that was the premier lead-up game to the men's, and Gin ran out winners 24-0.
Gin just came out of the gates too fast for Isis, passing the ball around in the first set. It was 8-0 after 5 minutes.
And in the preview, we did say Gin, we're not going to be happy. Losing to them in that final and then losing to them in the grand final. Haven't beaten them in a few games.
So beating them at the Furnace is a big win for Gin. But
100%.
They're going to have to be ready for when Childers turn up at Gin.
Yeah, I think...
Because I'm sure Childers will be playing Gin when it's a Gin home game.
Yeah, that's...
Of course they will be. How else would it work?
So, Isis have a lot to take away from that, and I dare say with no footy this week, for the next 2 weeks, all they're going to be doing is line speed.
And a bit more talk and something.
A bit more talk, but I think they're going to get well and truly flogged for the next 2 weeks.
They're going to learn
they're better than that. They can play better than that. All of the players are better than that. Gin just come out too hard, too aggressive,
and by
just had them on the back foot straight away.
By the time Childers knew what was going on, they're already blowing and then they scraped their way into the game again a couple times.
Yeah.
And then just silly mistakes from fatigue.
Look good on parts, but just can't capitalise because obviously you're playing the catch-up game.
And as I said, Jin weren't exactly not blowing. All those girls were red-faced. They were just trying their asses out.
Yeah, when they had the ball,
They had 3 girls running at a time. They were tipping.
Yep.
Like, there was multiple times they strung 4 passes together 3 times in a set. Like, they were fucking clinical.
So there are a few other factors that contributed to that game that we'll get to in one of our segments later, but all in all, 24-0. You can't blame that on anything else, but they were the better team, much better team.
Oh, yeah, they were the better team.
So that was the NDRL Women's League tag. Now we're moving on to the men's. First game was the Avondale Tigers. I don't know why I didn't back his again. I ummed and ahed. They took on the Calliope Roosters, and they ran out winners 24-18. They actually come from a comeback because they were behind. And by halftime, I was saying to Conan, loser. You lost again. And in true Avondale style, you can never count them out. They have a lot of talented backs that you'll see playing all year. Yeah. We'll talk about the team of the week later, but there was very much a backs game for them. We'll say humbly, Calliope's forward pack was better and bigger, but
there's 2/3 of the field, isn't there?
Yes.
You win the middle, you got to at least win one of the edges, and Avondale won both edges.
Correct. Their backs are just too good, very skillful.
And they seem to get that ball to bounce their way, don't they? Whenever something... You can't let the ball hit the grass when you're playing against them, because it will just bounce straight to them.
So they did run out 24-18, won by 6. Calliope were closing in, looking to score at full time. There was 40 seconds left. Calliope were playing the ball on the try line, and an Avondale player went down with a miraculous injury that the crowd were going, wow, he just hasn't moved. He's knocked out cold. And I said, oh, yes, wait until the hooter, because obviously there's no time off for injury. Play stopped for this fella that was on the ground, and then when the hooter went off, it was a miraculous recovery, and he jumped straight up.
He done a fucking backflip, didn't he?
So, if I was... that you'll see on the stories, it was controversial, because had Calliope scored there, which I think they really would have, they had him on the back foot, they kick it in front, it's 24 all. Yeah, so... but yeah, not good enough. Calliope done away with the lead. They had the lead, gave it up. It shouldn't have been that close. So,
well, Calliope's biggest thing to take away from that, they did not complete one set off a kickoff. Every time they scored, dropped the ball. Half time, Avondale kicked off.
Yep.
Calliope were leading.
Yep.
They dropped it off the kickoff. Avondale scored.
Yep.
Game tied up. So that's the biggest thing for Calliope, I think. And we were talking to Bosto about it. And just said, mate, if you complete your sets, you beat up by 40.
Yeah.
If you don't, Avondale have the team to just pounce on anything in your half. So.
Yeah, so any thoughts on that, Billy? Thoughts on the backs?
We don't care. Yeah.
Neither us either. 3 o'clock, next game was the Gin Hawks took on the Agnes Water Marlins.
Hawkies!
I did tip them, but we were actually going for Agnes, but then we had tipped Gin. So
the smart tip was Gin, but we do know a lot of people in Agnes.
So Gin ran out winners 34-16. Another game that could have been closer had Agnes capitalised.
Well, much the same. Agnes just couldn't hold the ball.
Yeah. And much the same as after points. They didn't complete after points.
A lot of times Agnes
forced errors.
Because it blew out at the end a little bit. It wasn't. Yes. They weren't 20 points up the whole game.
No.
It wasn't until the last 15.
The first half was actually really good.
The first 16 minutes, Agnes were fighting, scraping to stay in it, and then they just couldn't hold the ball. Yeah. Can't score without it.
Can't score without the ball. Gin look very good. They have good big middles, couple big forwards.
Oh, and bring back the Biff, baby. Number 19, Chris Hoss. He's
not afraid to throw it, and he only got 10. I couldn't believe it.
He threw more than 10.
He didn't fucking miss him when he come up with that bad boy.
There was some Mike Tyson uppercuts.
There was actually a lot of his toss in the games, actually, yesterday.
And then that Agnes fella got sent for 10 as well for headbutting his fist.
Yeah, well, hey, you can't be doing any of that.
You can't be doing that,
Contact
mate.
with
You're
the
lucky
head.
You didn't get sent off.
That's right.
No.
So, he wasn't afraid of it. No.
He got...
Not taking a backward step there, yeah. So 34-16 they ran out. Gin did. Now we move... Oh, we didn't mention that. Another nod to Avondale. Monty got sent off in the second half. So they played that second half
with 12 and still won.
So that's their flowers. Monty got sent off for a flipping spear.
Very nervous because as we
Undertaker pile drive.
He
didn't miss him either.
We've glazed Monty a fair bit coming up to this game, and he did score a try.
Yes, he
in
did.
the first half.
But yes, that is what we missed. He did get sent off, and they still pushed ahead, come back, and won. So yeah, we missed that. So main game, Isis took on South Killeen, 6 p.m. at the Furnace. Furnace was hot, wasn't it, Billy Boy? Furnace was hot, baby.
He can't speak. It was just...
So, again, this game at halftime was, 38-6 at halftime. Childers just too skillful, and once again, as opposed to the other two previous teams not capitalising on points, Childers capitalised on points. Completing sets after points, holding onto the ball.
Completing sets. Just completing sets in general. I think we had a really good completion rate.
Yeah.
And Childers in the last few years, whenever they do drop a ball, they then give a penalty away, and then blow up at the ref, and then concede a try. So last night, the boys were very ethical in shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Defend this set, and we were forced a lot of drop balls on the third and fourth by just doing that.
Yeah.
You know, if we look to each other and not the fella blowing the whistle, we're a lot better team. So not to say South Killeen didn't turn up with fuck all.
No. So it was 38-6 half-time, full-time was 70-10. South Killeen, I think, just outskilled. And not only that, you can't win if you don't have the ball.
Yeah.
So if Isis are scoring points, completing the next set from the kickoff, and then potentially scoring again, and then again, you don't have the ball for 15 minutes. So what else are you supposed to do?
Well, we gave the ball to South Killeen multiple times.
Yes.
They couldn't get past the third tackle.
No, because by that point, they've done 18 sets of tackling.
It very easily could have been 30-20 or much closer score.
Absolutely.
But South Killeen, I think, honestly, probably completed 30%.
Yeah. You got it,
What Banjo? Banjo ran it back 4 times?
Yes. Yeah.
Out of how many sets?
Yeah.
And one of them, he ran the field to score.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, it's just kick chase.
It's just once you get behind like that, and then you're
hard.
fatigued, and you finally get the ball back, all the boys that have been doing that work can't run the ball because they're fatigued.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's hard to, once you let that get ahead of you, which is sort of what happened in this Gingin game and the Avondale game. Once it gets ahead, you score 1, you score 3.
Yeah.
So, I'm not taking anything away from Isis. Their forwards look good. Huge forward pack. Managed their interchange well. They only had 3 bench. So it's not to say that Isis had, 25 people at a home game. They only had the 3 bench.
It was very much the 5 or 10 get off.
Yeah.
Don't run till you're dead. Fucking get on there and get off.
Yeah, did their job. Very happy with that.
It was very, very good managing from Ian Keaton. I'll give him that.
Oh, Ian, what a man.
Oh, super.
Speaking of Ian Keaton, front rowers in the pink shirt.
Speaking of whistleblowers.
Ian. He ran a touchline for the A-grade men first game in that Avondale Calliope game, and then he reffed the middle game of Agnes and Killeen. Moving on to Central Burnett men's, first game for them was Eidsvold Bigoden at 2 p.m. up at the home of the Monto Roos.
Up the wires.
Now, this game was 20 points to nil after about the
10 or 15 apparently.
15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Eidsvold, unfortunately, only had 13 on their team list, and I'm fairly sure 3 of those played for Avondale, so they were not playing in Monto, which led them to only have 10 on arrival, and then after that they went down to 8, and everyone knows you can't play with less than 9, so unfortunately that game got called off. Some shining lights out of Bigoden, though. We did have some footage up on the stories. They got their team awards last night. They're doing a player's player, a coach's award, and a supporter's award.
Ben Buxman's already lost his cup.
Of course he has.
Genuinely messaged in the group chat this morning, I've lost my cup.
So it looks from their photo here, Ben Buxma got the supporter award. The coach's award was Makura, he plays in the halves.
Yeah.
And then the player's player was Tom Hughes. Tom Hughes?
Hughesy! Duddo!
Is that Dutton?
That's Duddo!
I've never met Dutton before.
He's got...
Tommy Dutton, yeah.
Doesn't look like it, but he's got some fucking rocky boulders.
Yeah. So, 20 points, so they just get the 20-0 for what they scored. It's not technically a forfeit because they played past the allotted time.
So we don't get the 40-0 bonus. First game for Bigoden, they've got to be happy with anything. They turned up with 19, a good 19, and they were clinical.
Yep.
And, they were just unfortunate they only got to play against 10.
Yep.
I feel like they really would have wanted to play a good 80-minute game against a hard side.
Unfortunate after a big bus trip up there. Obviously a lot of outgoing money, and then for that to happen. But
and now a week off next week.
Now a week off, that's right. So, but that's football. It happens. Everyone's been through the highs and lows and years of having to forfeit. Like Bigoden haven't been in the comp for 6 years. It's not like Bigoden have won the comp for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
So they go on highs and lows. Hopefully Eidsvold find their stride, and this year with Bigoden entering, you'll get some buys. So hopefully they can just work to play on the weekends that they have to.
Play a couple of those games and win.
Yep. Now, I'm going to give a nod. I said on Friday that this game was going to be game of the round. I think that is got the potential to be game of the whole round. Pay me my flowers. 4 p.m, Monto Roos took on the Mandubra Tigers. It was a very back and forward game. Mandubra did have a bit of a bigger lead. I think it was 18-10 at half time. And then the final score, well, it did get like 26-30. Then Mandubra were 36-26. Then at full time it ended up 30-36 with Mandubra Tigers running out winners.
And, well, we said Mandubra beat them in round 1 last year in Monto. And then we didn't tip Mandubra.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, fucking, let's just get a big sign up here and editing saying, fuckwits.
Yeah. Which, yes, exactly. That's
You
exactly
can't
what
pick,
I said.
but you can't tip on form in these comps.
No. Which is next week, the following week will be completely different. So, yeah. Hard to pick, but we talk about this Monto Mandubra game. Sounded like a Ford game. Game for the Fords. Dirty.
A lot of Team of the Week recipients in this game.
Oh, lots, yeah. So for Monto, we'll just give a bit of rap because it is the game of the round. We're happy with that. So Monto scored 6 tries, and that was Sam Opperman, Reece Howkins, which is Ford. Kane Mitchell scored a double, which is in the halves. Alexander Walker, Ford, and Connor McLaughlin, who is the 5'8". So that was their 6 tries.
Ford's contributed half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here we go. Talk about moist. Mandubra Tigers. Double try to Bailey. Nelson Vagai, Luke Kenny, Blake Jackson, who's a hooker, which is Ford, Kane and Beasley. We don't really know any of these.
No, we don't really know the Mandubra boys yet.
Jaden Pashley. So yeah, 8 tries, 2 of which coming from the captain, coach, Man, Bailey,
so conversions,
Kimber.
Kicking the ball nearly let them down there because
Monto kicked 2 from 8.
Monto only scored 6 tries and they only lost by 4.
3 from 6. They kicked 2 from 8. So really, if Monto had converted all them, they would have.
Yeah, they could have won and scored 2 less tries.
Yeah, but yes, game of the round. Obviously, come down to the wire. We weren't unfortunately able to go there because we were in Childers, but we were watching on the My League app and the videos that people were sending in and the scores that Monto
we rang in to get some match reviews and etc. etc. So we know what happened.
Yeah, got some good opinions. Just talking to Reece last night. He was saying, Fords are gods, backs overrated. He's blamed them.
Said a lot of drop ball from the wingers.
Yeah, backs won't touch a ball for the next 2 weeks of training. But yeah, so leading from that, obviously we couldn't go, but the Great Man Project has come on board. They are sponsors of the Central Burnett. They come on board when Central Burnett were advertising sponsorship roles for their battalion team and also the competition. So they've jumped on and they are sponsoring the Player of the Round award every single week. And they were there to do an interview last night, and they had Aaron Mumford there doing the interview, so we'll cut to that.
Hey guys, Aaron here from the Great Man Project with the Central Burnett Player of the Round. First round of the season. This week it's no other than Mandubra number 9, Blake Jackson. Congratulations, Blakey.
Thanks,
first game of the season, first win. How was it out there tonight?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Blew off a few cobwebs there. Haven't played in a while after come back after injury, but no, we looked pretty good. We had a few mistakes there, but first game of the season, so a lot to work on. But
yeah, definitely. And first game of the year against last year's grand finalist Monto. Tough opponent to start the year off. How are you boys shaping up for the rest of the year? What can we expect from the Tigers?
Probably we've had pretty good numbers at training, and hopefully we can just build off that. We made a few errors there that I think we let them back in once we thought we got a roll on, and hopefully just work on that. And looking forward to bigger than on the Anzac round.
Once again, congratulations on the win, Blakey, and the Player of the Round.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Just like to have a big shout out to the Great Man Project for sponsoring the Central Burnett comp. Sorry. Without you fellas, we don't real footy, it drops off without sponsors. So we're lucky to have you. Thanks for that, mate.
Perfect. No dramas. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
So that's a good wrap up. Any time that we can't go to Central Burnett, that's what we're going to be posting. The Great Man Project. So give them their flowers. Next, guess what grinds our gears? We're loving this segment.
Referees. But no, it's not the referees.
It's not the referees. It's not the referees.
We're not actually mad at the referees.
What grinds our gears is yesterday, the first game of the day, the Women's League take comes Agnes and Callan. No touchies. Ian Keaton's doing the middle. There in that game, not so much, but there were still a few instances. You don't have touch judges for the conversions that the girls are doing. You also don't have them for kickoffs, whether the ball's going out. You know, in league tag, they swing the ball wide and they're always on that touch line. No touches to dictate that. No one else to help for onside. So Ian, for example, is expected to do that whole game from start to finish and look at forward passes, onsides, playing
balls.
in the ruck. Yeah, play the balls, the touch line. It's
Tries.
Not, it's
Tries
not,
in the corner.
Yes, it's not good enough. If he's reffing in the middle, which is where they stand, what is he knowing what's going on if it's 4 passes wide on the sideline?
And what are we paying $8 entry for?
That's the other part. If
Because
we pay,
are they playing a game? Is it a game of footy?
Yeah.
Is it league tag?
This is what
it tag?
yeah, this is what the catch-22 is, and I spoke about this a few years ago. If league tag wants to be considered as the proper sport, in which the NDRL have done a great job of getting it started, and I know Kim McIntosh had a lot to do with getting the league tag started. When it first started, it's a bit of fun just for girls. It is a full-blown competition now. There are very competitive girls.
Very good athletes.
It is a
getting around.
sport.
Yes.
It's much like rugby league. There are girls that would not be able to play rugby league, but they are great league tag players. If it wants to be taken seriously, you need touch judges, because the reality is yesterday, if there was an under-12s game, they would have touch judges.
And on that as well, the on-field referee for the ISIS Gingin game
Yes.
was a green sock.
Yeah.
Now, nothing on him.
No.
He's a good
No.
referee.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be taken seriously,
Yeah.
nobody under the age of 18 can ref
Yeah.
a seniors game.
Yeah.
If there's one person on that field that's over the age of 18,
Yeah.
he cannot ref it.
Well, we in rugby league women's, I would not be playing a game if a green sock ref is reffing the middle,
No.
because you have someone who is obviously under the age of 18, right? They are young. They're not easily influenced, but they can be led and intimidated when you have got someone like, say me, I'm a 27-year-old woman. And if I'm vocal on the field, if there's a little 16-year-old girl reffing us in the middle, I'm pretty sure they can be intimidated.
And hey,
So
call us one-eyed, but we saw many instances near the sideline,
Now-
in the middle when he wasn't close by.
This is
of
what- yes.
4 or 5 people getting in his face saying, "This is what happened. This is what
Yes.
happened." That's the call he made.
Now this-
That's not what happened.
yes, this is what elaborates on the grinding our gears thing. When you don't have touch judges and you are relying on the sole middle ref, and you have teams that know exactly what to say and exactly how to intimidate and exactly what to do to influence the decisions are going to be influenced. There was one instance, well, there was actually 25 instances yesterday, but there was one instance who I was very vocal about in the crowd, that Gingin had put a kick down, it had dribbled out, it should have been ISIS's ball. 3 Gingin players have their hands in the air saying she touched it, she touched it. The ISIS winger is obviously young and has no idea and just says nothing. He then goes with those 3 girls that she touched it. She did not touch it. Had a touchy have been there, it wouldn't have even been up to the middle ref to distinguish whether she did or
He
didn't.
would
The
have said,
touchy would have
"Gone out."
and those 3 girls wouldn't have officiated.
And we're not talking shit about Gingin. If you can do it and get away with it, I'd fucking do it too.
This is the other point. They do it. They do get away with it, and they are allowed to get away with it. So credit to them.
As long as they get
Now-
away with it, why would they stop?
That contributed to the score yesterday, because on Friday we said Gingin was so dominant in the past years when ISIS first come in, because they did just put it to them. They are aggressive in the way they play. They are niggly because they're allowed to get away with it. They know what the rules are, and they are allowed to get away with it. Just like them anticipating the tag, walking in play.
Slowing down before the tag.
You are not allowed to do it.
No.
That is a rule. You cannot do it. They do it, and they continue to do it because they're allowed to get away with it. So, had there been 2 touch judges that had more knowledge of the game,
And an older middle ref that's not going to get intimidated by.
but that's
women.
right. This is where the catch-22 is. If you're having a green sock ref in the middle, then that is not an A grade game. So if you
No.
are advertising 5 A grade games, well, you're not, because 2 of them you're not acknowledging they need touch judges, and you're letting under 18-year-olds ref the middles. So then I'm only going to pay for entry to 3 games. Then.
Well, if a green sock's in the middle of one of my games,
yeah.
he's going to get told to get off the field and let one of the touches get in
It's
the
the same as people are a bit standoffish of having. There's some competitions that don't even let green sock refs do touch lines of A grade men's game because they do get so hostile. They don't want to put them in that position. Now, is he just allowed to ref it because it's league
Because
tag?
it's league tag.
Because it's
Oh,
girls?
yeah, you can go do league
But
tag.
if it's
Go on, mate.
if it's league tag, then it's not a serious sport, which is not right, because it is a serious sport and it is taken seriously. And these players are training twice a week, paying their fees and travelling, so they need to be taken seriously. So this is the catch-22, and this isn't a knock on anyone else. there could have been touch judges in Calliope and we went there and we didn't see it. But in this grinding our gears segment, we're always going to be open and transparent and voice how we feel. We are open to accountability, but we want other people to be accountable with us if we say wrong things here and what we reference, but we're going to be open. That really rubbed me the wrong way, and it wasn't just me. I might have just been the most vocal about it in the crowd. It was everyone around me saying, yes, why is there no touch judges? Because it was multiple different decisions in that game, and multiple times that the referee was
Even in the
influenced.
South Carolina and Agnes game, there was wrong calls being made in the sideline. Nothing on Ian.
No,
you can't see it.
That's right.
There's 15
you can't be
girls in the way.
expected to cover 66 metres of width and 120 metres of depth.
You're not a drone. You're not flying around seeing everything. You're in the middle.
I don't know. There might have just been. I know that there is a shortage of referees, and this green sock refs. They wanted to get the young ones in there and do it, but the 3 men's games were able to operate yesterday with 2 touchies in the middle.
That green sock note. I remember when I was playing under 16s. A young fella from Nananga that was just starting out reffing. He was 14. He wanted to ref one of our games because his brother was playing. They said no because he wasn't 16. If you want to ref under 16s, you have to be at least 16.
Yeah, I think
Same
you're
with
supposed
18s.
to be.
And before you can
you're
ref
supposed
seniors,
to be 2 years older than what you're reffing. Like if you're a 14-year-old, then you can do 12s. But if you're a new aspiring 13-year-old ref, you can't ref under 14s. There's something along that line. But
so
that's
why
the
can
thing.
a 17-year-old ref full adult women?
Yeah.
That's a big gripe.
Also, I know obviously they were short. They needed Ian to ref yesterday, so Ian couldn't realistically ref the ISIS Gingin game.
No.
But out of the 2 games, that was the premier game.
Mm-hmm. There should have been touchies.
Should have been touchies.
It's a grand final rematch in Childers.
Yes.
Touchies.
So that was very disappointing, not just for us, but for the players. We're not taking anything away from Gingin. They won the game fair and square, but there were a lot of decisions that they influenced. Once again, much like everyone's always on about Cam Smith being a ref, they know what they're doing. The players there know what to say and what to do to get decisions. And they're not being pulled up about it, so of course you're going to keep doing it.
I would do it. If I could walk up to a ref and say, he dropped it, and get a knock on
Another perfect example is, people who know us would know that we are very passionate about water runners on the field. And our memo is, as long as you have the ball, you can be on the fucking field.
Yep.
Every opposition we play get the shits with us because our water runners are on the field the entire time we have the ball. Yep. And I say, that's as the rule reads. As long as you're in possession, your water runner can be on giving you... They can't coach, obviously. Yeah. We go without, but I want water all the time.
How many times I've been told to get off the field by a referee? You push the letter as far as you can.
Yeah. And we're allowed to do it, and we know what to do to go within the rules, and we do it. It's the same as what Gingin are doing in the league table.
If you can get away with it, get away with it.
100%. So we're not knocking them on that, but had touch judges have been there yesterday, a few decisions wouldn't have been made that way.
It would have been a little bit of a different game.
Yeah.
I still think Gingin win.
Oh.
Just not 24-0.
I'm not taking away. They're a talented team that Ruby Tobin was playing 9. She's a fucking phenomenal player. They're winning regardless yesterday. I personally don't think ISIS turned up at all. And the only reason they turned up in the second half is because they got a revving and they actually put their big girl pants on.
Decided to get aggressive.
And put it back to Gingin, and that's when the game comes about.
The second half was only 6-0.
Correct.
First half was 18-0.
Yeah.
So that's going to have to be its own episode. That
well, it's passionate.
It's bullshit.
We've got the team here. Now, the number 8, he is from Gingin.
Yes.
Now, apologies for pronunciation of any of these names, but Samisi Halapio is what your team list has you down as, the number 8 from Gingin.
He was good.
He was phenomenal.
He didn't do many tackles, but because the first 3 blokes he hit didn't get up real quick.
That's right.
And every time he ran the ball, post-contact, finding his front, good quick plays. Gingin based a lot of attack off the back of him.
Big body and fit.
Strong too.
Strong too. So
big, strong man.
So good on you, Samisi. He's from Gingin. Now we have the number 9, as you've seen in the interview before, Blake Jackson from Andubba Tigers. Can't take away from him.
Couldn't not put him in there.
Couldn't not put him in. He contributed a lot to their win yesterday, obviously doing more than enough to get that player of the match, and he also scored a try. So good on you, Blake. The number 10, the other starting prop. We got Amini from ISIS, the number 10.
We nearly gave him both prop spots. Jeez, he's good.
Oh, he was phenomenal.
He's so fit.
So fit,
fast.
so quick off the mark. Good ball control. Great in defence. He seems
He's
to
unreal.
he played out of his skin yesterday. He played out of his skin in
He had
trial.
he had 7 line breaks. He would have ran for 400 metres.
Oh, 100%. He's just and just so quick off the mark. Just like
he was unlucky to only get 1 try.
Yeah.
How many times did he get pulled up a metre short after just blitzing four
Yeah.
people. Like he
Yeah.
even played the last 10 in centre.
Yeah, he was trying hard. He did get one try. He should have got 4.
He deserved way more
So
than
a
one.
mini from ISIS there, the number 10. Now we got the second rower here, Ben Zach Fleming.
You didn't know which one was playing at any time because they were both doing the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
You lost nothing with
Big
both of
dogs
them.
in the second
Yeah.
row on the left edge.
Yeah. They you didn't lose anything with them. Both really, really good players.
Both played out of their skin.
Ben got a try.
Ben wasn't it?
Yeah, Ben.
Ben got the
See
try.
again, Ben Zach. Yeah, it was Ben that scored the try.
Can't.
Can't
One would go off, the other one would replace them. I don't think they were on the bench at the same time. They were just rotating with each other. Didn't lose anything, and it was a great left edge second row.
Yeah,
between
absolutely.
the two of them.
Other second rower went to Timmy McIntosh.
The 6-year retiree.
He played. I asked him yesterday, Tim, what did you actually play? Well, he was named at 12, played second row, went to lock, played in the half for a bit, come back to prop, back on the edge.
But he was wearing the 12.
Wearing the 12, and he did play majority of the game in second row.
Some great try savers, some
Unreal.
great try setups,
Oh,
a try
some great
himself,
try himself. Yeah.
some really good just genuine hit ups,
Yeah.
running the ball hard. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's a big man now.
Defensively, really, really good. Only missed a few
A
tackles.
few times he went down with a bit of a stinger,
Yep,
and he just gritted his teeth and got up.
which is nothing new. The first time he went down, I went, oh, well, he'll be knocked out. But
No, but
alas.
maybe in the forwards it's toughened his head up a bit.
Yep. Now, the number 13,
Of course, who else?
big dog, Bailey Kimber, captain
Bailey.
coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said before, 2 tries, starting lock. By the way that his tries were placed, it looks like he didn't get a rest, but he very well could have. I think by them stats, he scored nearly the first and last try, basically. So
He would have been trying hard yesterday.
yeah, he would have been. Yeah, for sure.
As we said, we said that he was going to be a try
He
hard. all
scored
year.
the first and last try.
Yeah, well, there you go. He kicked the game off and he finished it off for
Yeah.
Mundubra.
Trying really hard, which that last try would have sealed it if they only won by 6, so that would have been around that. So he's got the starting lock.
He stepped up to the role. Didn't know if he was going to
Yeah.
play well or play shit, and he's decided he's going to play well.
Took it in his stride, so that's awesome. Number 14, so now we've got the starting scrum, we've got a bench scrum, we've got number 14, Timmy Cole. from
Unlucky
the-
not to get the starting 9
Yes.
spot, but we couldn't go past old Blakey.
Couldn't go
Timmy
past-
Carl
Timmy
winding
fucking
the ears back,
Cole.
running an absolute muck.
Oh.
Scored a double. His first try was soft.
His second half was much better than the
Oh,
first
yeah.
half, which comes as South Clan were more fatigued. He was
Yeah.
just cutting around
Jumping
the
out a
ruck,
hooker.
Yeah.
He was never not drawing a
He
marker.
hit that blindside when he got that last try of his, hit that blindside run about, 65 of the best to go over.
Fastest man in the BRL, I think.
Little legs were going.
Bit of a beach sprinter in his day.
Definitely Timmy Cole is our first forward on the bench. Our second one, we've got Sam Opperman from Monto.
Oppie.
Yep, we got some players.
Oppie's handy.
Scored a try. He scored
Yeah.
the first, so he scored the first try for Monto, which I think Mandubra scored first, and then they've hit straight back. So, yeah, first try for Sam, playing in lock.
Ex-rep player, Sam Oppie. I've played
Yep.
battalion with him
He's
before. He's
worth his weight in gold. Really good.
looking real fit this year.
Yeah. Really, what do you call it? Benefit to the club at Monto.
Oh, yes.
Really good addition.
He's a good club man.
Yeah. So good on you, Oppie. We've got you in there off the bench. The number 17 is Alex England from Agnes. He was their starting prop, number 8, big beard, big man. Didn't really see him get put on the ground much.
No, always found his front, always had
Yeah.
post-contact meters. His tackles were hard.
Defensively, really, really good. And
he
made lots of meters.
He was tired. I think Agnes was a bit short on forwards, but he just had ticker.
Yeah.
He kept getting onside.
Yeah.
He kept moving
Felt
up.
like he was just on the field all the time.
And he was always there to have that hit up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they didn't always use him,
No, but he was always
but
an
he was
option.
always there to have the hit up, and that's what you want from your
Yeah.
starting prop. So that is great. That is great from Alex there.
Number 18, we've got Jake McLennan, which was the Gin lock. Now, he scored a couple of tries yesterday. I think he got 2 or 3.
He was very good.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
really, really good game.
Another fella unlucky to not make the starting side there,
Yes.
but,
Well, that's right. We've got, we've got
really,
12
really
spots
good
up for
side.
grab every week. It's really hard to pick.
Really hard to get
So,
it. Yeah.
so good on you, Jake. Great game for Gin yesterday. Number 19, we got Ryan DeRude from Calliope. Now, last week he played lock. This week he played second row. Scored some points. Did a lot of tough carries for Calliope. Again, they only just fell short against Avondale. So, you can be in a losing side and still make our team of the week. We just care about forwards and the little things that they're doing, the 1%ers.
He's the 1%ers were good yesterday.
Yeah, really good.
A lot of hard
Reliable,
rucks.
always there.
Always finishing tackles, getting into tackles,
Yeah.
working from marker. Not a lot of people worked from marker yesterday.
No,
But he was working. So
he had a really
and
great
that's
game.
what we look for.
So good on you, Ryan.
Speaking
and the
of
last
hard
one,
workers,
Big Dog.
Reese boy
We
in
got
the
number
20.
20.
Probably the most prestigious number of the team
Oh.
of the week.
This is what you want to make every week, boys. The number 20. You don't have to wear it to make it, but Reese was wearing it. He scored 1 try. He followed after Sam Opperman scored 1 try for the Monto Roos. The second try.
He's handy, big fella.
He's handy.
I'm keen to go head to head with
Good
him when we
footwork.
play Monto.
Well, he went head-to-head at the Nines, and it was
Yeah.
killing chat.
Oh, yeah, there's some noise.
But yeah, had a really good chat to Reese last night after the game. He was giving me a bit of a rundown.
Yeah, he's a
on
bit
the
like
final
Billy Boy
score.
here. He's not a fan of backs.
Not a fan of backs. He'll be the next cutout that we have here, right? He'll be the next guest. So yeah, really big fan of Reese. He's jumped on and he is sponsoring the sleeve of our polo. So he's more than involved in the show. Really loves it.
No bias in his
No.
position picking.
He's really, really, really good. So we had a great game yesterday. Yeah, not a fan
He's
of
Monto
backs.
through and through. He bleeds blue and white.
Yeah. So
So I had to pick him. When fellas like that play
Yeah.
well, it's just really good to see.
he's on our story, the halftime score, that big number 20 with the Viking man bun. That's Reese. So yeah, we'll get this team of the week. After this, we'll cut and pop up the team of the week. We're on tour today.
Yeah, plenty of content going to be coming today. I'm heading down to BY, as we said.
Yep.
I'm going to play reserve grade for the Maroochydore Swans. We kick off at 1:30, so we've got to.
It's 10:30 right now when we're filming this, so we're supposed to be wrapped up by 10.
we're
So we
supposed already
really
be
need to
Gympie,
go.
So we really got to fuck off. But, what's that? Episode 10.
Yeah.
That's episode 10. Sunday morning ticket, and
Billy.
we'll see his.
Billy's just going to give a little shout out to the backs.
Great words, Billy. Thank you.